I know your name already, but just in case.
Colt, Stanford.
Colt, Stanford guys, college coaches. Where do you go to school?
Burnet, Texas.
Learn it. I used to call it Burnet, Texas. Yeah, I got it correct. Yeah, everybody does. Yeah, we told that. All right. Your classification?
2025.
2025. Young, athletic, dual sport guy, correct? All right. Your question?
When recruiting, what's one of the first things you want to see in an athlete?
Okay. Let me make sure I understand that question. What are as a recruiter, as a college recruiter, what are one of the first things that we want to see in an athlete? Very broad, very general question, but everybody has their own take on this up there. What's the first thing you want to see in a ball player that you go out and watch?
Not only the athleticism on the athletic side, but also someone who takes the time to dedicate to their craft and always is willing to learn the game and be better, at the game. I think kids that are like that, they tend to want to push their bodies and their success to higher heights, and those guys never have that quit about them, and they're so determined that their work ethic is going to bring out the best in them.
Good. Coach?
This is just kind of specific for me, and there's a lot of things, but I think one of the things I look for is body language when I go out and watch kids, especially at the youth level, because you guys are still maturing. I'm trying to find out who you are, like I said earlier, but I think for me it's a big indicator of how do you handle failure. We just got done talking about how do we get better with our mental game and that whole thing, and I think the way you express yourself, and it may not even be when you're doing anything on the field, tells me a lot about who you are, how mature you are, and kind of just expresses, like I said, what you're about. So body language is huge. I think as you guys get older, I tell our guys all the time, because you watched them in the playoffs last night, play with emotion, but don't play emotional, right? There's a difference. You can play with emotion, but don't play emotional.
I see a lot of parents putting that down in their phone right now. That's a pretty good quote.
So, and I see it with umpires a lot, guys, and I tell kids that I deal with in travel ball, if I ever help out, it's, umpires, even at the Division I level where I was a couple years ago, they're not great all the time, right? So let's just imagine guys that are in summer ball, volunteering their time, or doing it on the side, like having a little bit of perspective, right? And that's where the emotional and emotion side can come out, right? We get a little emotional about a bad call. We can wear it, right? I call, palm trees. We see that a lot, right? Palm trees. And I'm just telling you guys, if I see that, it's not that I'm going to cross you off the list, right? But I will remember, you palm treeing the umpire, or you palming up your coach, right? Stuff like that is what I look for. I look for a kid that's composed, because especially at your age, guys, it shows that you're mature. And as you get older, you'll get better at it. It's a skill. I mean, it really is, to be able to move on and to have good body language. So.
I was just going to add to, make sure you're coachable. Be able to handle and take criticism, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to correct you when you do something wrong. When your coach addresses you, look him in the eyes. Nod your head, yes sir, no sir. Acknowledge him. Make sure you are coachable, because if you're not, your time's running out in this game, because it'll eat you up. So make sure you're coachable, and just enjoy playing the game.
Yeah, and as you guys start entering into the time of the recruitment period for you over the next couple of years, is make sure you're on time, right? I see this all the time at Franklin. I see that mom and dad or that player running down the hill to field 2, and their game's starting in 15 minutes. Be on time. Make sure that you look the part. All right? You guys agree? Make sure you look like a ball player. So all these guys up here are trying to find a reason why you shouldn't come play for them. They're looking for things to scratch you off. So if you're late, that's a red flag. But if you get out and you're coming up in your shorts and your hat backwards, not a good look. Not professional. You come to the ballpark as if it's your job, and it's a corporate position. And I wanted you to remain standing because I just want, you got your belt on, you look like a ball player, all right? You look like a baseball player. If I never saw you play, I didn't see, I saw you very athletic in here, but if I just kind of, I'm like, okay, hey, he looks like he can play. Let me just keep my eye on him. Because if you look sloppy and you didn't look like the part, weren't wearing your hat right, I'm probably like, it doesn't look like a ball player.
Hey, Trey
Probably get crossed off the list.
Trey said, no Crocs.
No Crocs. No Crocs, yeah. Yeah.
Put them on in the car.
That's a great question. Players.